I'm working in the Learning Sciences department on natural language processing for tutoring.
So I'm working for the Vision and Graphics lab designing a diffractive optic element, which is basically a new type of lens that uses the interference of light instead of bending light to form an image.
I'm working on the Army Writing Enhancement Tool. It's basically an AI model that has different activities in order for you to check your writing and make sure that it adheres to the Army writing style.
I'm working on a dialogue state tracking task, which is a subdomain of natural language processing. And what I'm investigating specifically is testing the outputs from various large language models and seeing how they compare to a large corpus.
I'm working with the natural language department. We're specifically for the living testimony, working with the Staff Sergeant Samantha Downey, the virtual version of herself. Ask her questions, she can respond in a bunch of different ways, and we're really working on now sort of the fine-tuning aspect, making sure the text or the responses she should be saying are the ones that match up the best with the questions asked.
I'm on the Learning Sciences team, and I'm working on the Open Tutor project.
I'm currently working on the ACERT project, essentially making an augmented reality or AR application to assist people with interpreting synthetic aperture radar imagery, so it's usually called SAR.
I'm currently working on a project to harness artificial intelligence for large-scale combat operations. The goal is to be able to prompt the AI with a given scenario and for it to give you a supplementary advisement to act in a certain way to make sure we're maintaining our moral, ethical, and tactical standards as an organized fighting force.
I am working on the negotiation agent with AI.
I'm working with prompting OpenAI to help with generating multiple choice questions.
We're working on mostly using large language models to do scenario generation tasks.
And I'm working on a project for generating question and answers using RAG on devices locally, like on people's smartphones.
So I'm working on scenario generation, specifically the image generation portion of it. So basically you can type in a prompt and it'll generate an image of a map, and then the Army will use it for like teaching purposes to reenact scenarios.
I'm working in the project of interactive narratives, an experiment that we will do through a film that I'm shooting, I'm directing and I'm starring. And then I will do also the post-production with AI tools to prove that we can offer to new filmmakers a solution, low-budget solution, to have results like big production companies of Hollywood. It's fascinating what tools you can discover through AI that you couldn't even imagine that they would be there and help you in processes that you didn't even imagine that you would have to deal with. So yeah, it's very fascinating.
As I said, we are using like large language models, which I have no experience before. So I definitely have to spend a lot of time just like searching up the tutorials, how to use the tools. And then, but that was interesting because I know this is a really popular tool right now, and I think this is a great opportunity for me to get some hands-on experience.
Currently, we're just developing a really big big pipeline for a negotiation agent, and we've been just testing it against different types of agents now. So it's just been cool to see how AI can interact with each other.
In a team of people where it's other employees' work from before me, and then learning how they structure their code and building on top of that to take on the new tasks that were given to me was pretty interesting.
I really appreciated getting the opportunity to work in a production environment and work with tools that I've really never had the opportunity to work with before, and really getting to work in these larger tech stacks and in collaborative environments really provides the opportunity to grow me into the engineer of the future.
I have to make sure the AI is generating the right data, and when you do get the data, it may not be always perfect, so it requires a lot of patience and a lot of attention to detail.
But when you actually look into NPC editor and the actual, I guess, programming itself, when you're trying to run tests on it, the text that it generates doesn't always match up with what the video is saying, And so that could cause some issues in like trying to get the proper answer and matching up answers with questions. And so it's sort of a bit of a manual review of it, making sure that everything does match up with the audio.
It was really cool this summer how I got to work with a lot of optical design programs that I had never imagined before. And it's not just like one program either. There are like 3 different programs in the family. I got to learn so much about all of those. I made so many colorful graphs that show the phase profiles of all of these things. I think it's so cool. I learned so much more about coding than I ever learned as a physics major in my classes. And it's been like a really useful experience for me that I'm going to carry forwards.
Absolutely, yeah. I have never worked with this specific subfield before, so I've been learning a lot of new things and getting a lot of different errors and issues with my code, which has been really difficult, but also really fun to kind of work with and expand my horizons into different kinds of stuff, yeah.
I would say coming in, I didn't have as much of an understanding about how to prompt AI, more just plugging and chugging and messing around with ChatGPT was my main extent of it before coming here. And getting to learn about how to properly prompt the AI so that you're tailoring the responses to somebody in the military, as well as so it's not veering off and kind of wandering from what you're trying to get at.
I'm working with a bunch of technologies that I've never worked with before. I'm using a React Native, which I haven't had to use before, and and I'm also writing native code for both iOS and Android, so I'm writing in Objective-C and some Kotlin, which it's been a lot of learning and figuring out how to get everything to work together. So that's been fun and quite a project of a lot of frustration and a lot of like, yeah, it worked.
To be honest, when I come in here, I had no idea on artificial intelligence. I remember before leaving for my field training, I was watching videos on AI, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be so embarrassing for me, like I have no idea and I have to learn. Then I came here and then I met like my supervisor. He was very helpful and he helped explain to me everything and like put me on the right road. Then the other interns were very helpful. Whenever I have a question, I'm confused about something, I just like ask them. And that was something that was so unexpected for me. I was expecting like to come here and gonna be like struggling and like trying every single day to prove myself. But I came here and I found like such a good environment where they want you to learn.
I would tell them that it's a great internship and to definitely like apply for it. There's a lot of great opportunities here and everyone is super nice and helpful.
You know, everyone here is new and working on new things, so it's very normal for you to not be entirely familiar with the problem that's put in front of you, and we'll all have that learning experience and work through that problem together.
I think this program is for people who really want to try out what research is like. I think this program welcomes people who has no research experience before, but as long as you have some passion and you show your passion.
Be prepared to meet very nice people, very welcoming people who are here to help you and build you to make you a better person.
If there was someone that wanted to do this program, I would say 100% do it. And while you're here, make sure you meet everyone you can. I'm sure everybody else is echoing this, but the people are one of the best parts of the internship. You meet so many interesting, not only peers and other interns, but faculty members and staff here as well. The people really make the whole experience, so take the time to form connections with them.
I feel like this is a creative space where you can explore very different projects. Yeah, I think it's a very good place to explore and learn and connect and engage.
I would say if you are interested in working on the intersection of academia and industry and especially entertainment and working with new technologies, this place is the right one for you.
And just have fun. That's all I'm gonna say.